Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Foodocracy for Her. My name is Kalyan Karmakar and Foodocracy for Her is where I speak to you with women entrepreneurs in the food industry in India. And today we've got two sisters. We've got Anuja and Ankita Jain, as you can see them. And before I tell you more about them, let me tell you that I'm in Mumbai and it's really hot. And I'm hoping at the end of the interview to lose some weight by perspiring. And they are in Nainital and they're rubbing it in by saying it's 11 degrees centigrade over there. I think here it must be some 30, 40, and the sweat factor will be making it 50. Especially if you guys are chocolate lovers or you're young entrepreneurs or you're oldies like me and looking at some inspiration from youngsters, you want to watch this. Before I get into them, I must tell you this little story. So down the road, we have our friends, the Grovers, and they're very good friends of ours. They're very big hosts. They're Punjabis, which makes them big hosts. And they have Diwali, wedding anniversary, Jai Mata Ji, and all that ceremonies and pujas, and they invite us Ganpati. And they always give these big goodie bags back. And often in their goodie bags, there have been boxes made by Harsh chocolates. And there have been interesting things like, there have been chocolate coated biscuits, or there have been themed chocolates and stuff like that. And I'm always very impressed by the quality of the chocolates, because sometimes when you see locally produced chocolates and so on, they leave you with a slightly pasty feel in the mouth. But these are very nice and they're very creamy. And then once I sort of posted it on Instagram and saying the great stuff. And then, I got a message from the Harsh chocolate handle saying that thanks for posting it and stuff. So I said, well, Harsh, I really love your stuff and it's, very well made and good job, man, and stuff. And then let Ankita and Anuja tell you who's Harsh. Who's Harsh?
Harsha is my mom. She's my mom. Her name is Harsha. So Harsh in Hindi means joy. So the name is that.
We instantly picked up that name because while we were starting out, we thought of having some Hindi angle to it. So Harsh was an instant fall in love sort of a name. And then we also sort of had a tagline in our visiting card earlier, Harsh chocolates, we wrap joy. So
why earlier?
That is
you've changed it now. You're not adding joy anymore.
So we did the rebranding and then we had a cocoa bean and H after that.
But the joy is still there, right?
The joy is still there.
We can still use it.
We can still use
it. Because, maybe a bad pun, but if you look at harsh in English and harsh, it's harsh is the opposite of joy. But it's so beautiful because, and you also end up in chocolates and chocolates are all about joy, aren't they? So tell me, how did the story begin? It began with your mom?
Yes.
So basically, we are coming from a Marwari background and she was coming from a Gujarati background. So,
okay, breaking news. This must be this is breaking news. This must be perhaps the fifth, if not sixth Marwari Foodocracy for Her episode. But then they are the entrepreneurial community. So go Marwaris. I think some Gujarati interviews also have done. Yes. Sorry, Ankita. Okay, so everyone's clear. Ankita is in stripes. And Anuja is not in stripes. Yeah. Very good.
Yes, Anuja.
Ankita.
Yes.
So mom was coming from that background. So business though was, she did not have any a proper culinary degree or any proper financial degree. So she just started the business the way she wanted to. It just started because she was very popular with her food and the fancy dishes and everything. She was very popular in the house. So that is how it all started.
I have a story to say. I have a story to say. So one day we just went to my nanny's house, my grandma, and we rolled in some cocoa powder and nuts and all those chocolates that she made. And then because it's traditional to take.
How old were you guys?
I think I was in 6th standard, about 10.
Was in 4th,
yeah, 4th and 6th standard.
So it's not that you are babies who jumped into cocoa powder and rolled in it that way.
No, so we were in 10, 12 years respectively, and then we went to my granny's house, and then we took the chocolates that we were carrying along with us. My mom was very popular in the entire family for her food and liking and the fancy stuff that she made, and we hosted a lot of dinners, lunches, etc.
Yeah.
And people just wanted excuses to come to our home, and lovingly, very lovingly, she used to open her heart and host them. And then she said that, why don't you, before that, we had gotten a lot of inquiries to cater to offices and to some parties and all of that, but nothing really clicked. And then these chocolates, when we went with, my uncle just walked in, his name is Tejash, and he's like, would you do it for our company, like formally? And my mom was like, no, I can't, and then he's like, no, you do. We'll take out the costing.
He's your mama. Tejas is your mama.
Tejas is my mama, yeah. Okay. So he's like, we'll sit down formally and we'll take out the entire costing, and then you give me for my clients because Diwali is just fast approaching. And my mom was like, what costing? We'll just do it anyways. He's like, no, I'll take 100 boxes and we'll do it properly. So my mom was like, just, giving it a go. All right. And then she's like, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And we went home, and then we heard chocolate. And when we heard a company, we were like, oh my God, unlimited supply of chocolate for life. This is something that we are going to encourage. What to do.
As in if your mom forms a company, you'll have unlimited chocolate for life.
Yes. Yeah. So
I'm a side. Zeva Kohli, who's
Fantasy,
Empress of Chocolates and runs Fantasy. So she's also second generation, chocolate company. And she said as a kid, she would be like, playing with chocolates, around chocolates. I've interviewed her. So, your story reminds me a bit of that. It's gone.
Similarly, so we were very, very happy saying that, chocolates, we have to go for it, and we'll do everything, whatever it takes, and we are going to help you, and we are going to do these first 100 boxes. And then I think first Diwali happened, and then the 100 boxes went out little by little in batches and parts. And then we couldn't stop getting calls, from people, whoever it went to, that saying that, the chocolates are good, would you do it for us?
We had kept a little, we used to put a little sticker with our number and,
And you guys are kids then. You guys are 10 and 12 at that time.
Yeah.
And mommy was doing it,
Yeah, so we used to put stickers with our name and number. If you like it, you can call and place your order on this number. But we got the overwhelming response. We out of 100 boxes, we got at least 80 callbacks, and we were flooded with phone.
Not exaggerating.
So out of the 100 boxes, how many did you guys finish off? How many did you guys finish off?
We tried from August to October, and then October is when things started going out of our house.
So then no more chocolate.
From every batch is a must, na?
It's tasting
Yeah. Very shamelessly, we keep tasting all our batches.
Yeah. Today also.
So I think then is when inquiries started flowing in, and I think for 2.5 or 3 years we just kept from Diwali to Diwali. That is Diwali to Diwali kept happening, and after that we took on orders for baby showers and corporates, and then it started going into formal sort of a setup, where there are team setups and
weddings and all that.
But I like how you said that we were taking orders, because if I got it right, you were still in your pre-teens. So your mom, it was this, but you were already like her.
It's how a family run businesses, at one point or the other, everyone sort of comes together to cater an order and then sort of give it out. So right from, say, accounting to sales to post sales, deliveries we used to go in half pants and do the deliveries earlier.
There are still clients today. We have really old clients. They still call us have you seen you delivering in half pants? So it is literally a long
We used to go along with the driver. So we used to go along with the driver, seeing that all the deliveries are happening properly, nothing is melted on the way, sort of, just to ensure.
So in a way, you guys started as quintessential home chefs. How many years back was this? Or which year?
2001 to
2001. So in a way, you're quintessential home chefs. I'm going to use this to plug the event which you're doing. It's Home Chefies, and the Home Chefie Awards, the first time which we're doing it with Booker Workshop. And it's basically to sort of, identify and appreciate and recognize the best home chef brands from across the country. And entry is free. So I would encourage anyone who's operating out of a home in the food business to enter, because you get a chance to sort of get your brands evaluated by judges who are like, top shots in the business and marketing world. And also what I want to do, and you'll see that Ankita and Anuja do it very well as they've taken their business on, is to think in terms of of your business as a brand. So it's not that you're just selling a chocolate, or you're talking about Mars pickle. So it's not that you're just selling a pickle, or it's not that you're just selling, turmeric powder or papar, but these are brands, and all these stories, all of what people are doing is what leads to that brand. So please do enter that, and as we'll hear this story, you will see that how much focus they put on branding as well, and of course the product. Yes. So 10 and 12-year-old, before they became teenagers, they were vice president Harsh Chocolates. Did the name exist at that point?
No, I think we started at very bottom. So I think for 2.5, 3 years, we were doing all the dishes, cleaning, post. So everything started at ground level for the both of us.
Both of us, yeah.
Yeah. And whatever we were learning in the school and college, because my mom didn't have any formal education in business or culinary, she was very keen on both of us having that,
Yeah.
She did not know as to what time which is inclined towards what, but she gave us the sort of freedom to figure out.
She always wanted to, like, you have to complete our education in the culinary or whatever you want to get on. Because I was very positive from the very 10th standard that I want to get into this. I want to do only this. So after completing, so I just completed with my graduation, I just side by side completed my diploma in the confectionery and bakery from IHM only.
So Ankita, you did a graduation somewhere and IHM bakery somewhere, or was the graduation a part of that? So just for people to understand.
So I did my diploma from Dadar Kitchen College. And I also completed my graduation.
So the graduation is in commerce, which is happening side by side, and this IHM is a culinary.
But in IHM only the commerce degree is given.
No, I did that. This correspondence. What is it called? University.
Directly from the university.
No, because people often want to know that is IHM a complete course, or do they do one and this thing? So then Ankita, you did your commerce course. And you did your Indian Hospitality Management Dadar course. And did you choose IHM? Because my understanding is that depending your scores, you get to go where, no? So you got to Dadar.
So you have to complete your 12th and then you can enroll in for the diploma. So I just did that.
You can choose Dadar for that. Okay, Bombay for that.
So I did.
And what about?
Sorry, you were saying something.
No, and then did you do anything further in confectionery and chocolate to sort of advance yourself?
I did a course with Barry Callebaut also from India only, like from Bombay only. I did get their course and I completed my understanding chocolate into it, like in a deeper perspective, understanding that. So I did that also.
Yeah.
And does that happen all the time, or were those special courses like this Barry Callebaut? Course
at the time in 2013 or 2014 there was a 1-year course and there was training for internship with Barry Callebaut, which does not exist anymore. So I think because there are many institutes which have come up, so there is
SCP and there are a lot many institutes in Bombay itself. But that
time they also people need to do their research and see that at that point which was a good and relevant one. So Ankita, what is the track which you took? Ankita, what is the track which you took education-wise after school? Like
so after school?
What did you study? Sorry, Anuja. No, I mixed up. Ankita is saying it. I was looking straight at Anuja, but I don't know why I said Ankita. I was also a bit distracted because my elder cat, Baby Loaf, seems to be eating some of the flowers. And I'm trying to tell him he's a non-vegetarian, but so sorry, Anuja. Yes, tell me. So yes, what was your track? Anuja,
so
I said the right one.
Yes, me. So I completed my 11th and 12th in commerce, and then I thought of doing business management because that is what I was keen on. And then I did my financial business management. I completed that. I also did an internship with a media company for a year. After that, I came into Harsh Chocolates with the sort of a little clarity as to I wanted always to do some business of, some business that I wanted to do, but what, that I did not know. So then I think I completed my internship, and then I got into Harsh Chocolates. There was always this side learning which was always happening with Harsh Chocolates right from the very beginning, my 10 or 12 years of age. And 2013 is when we lost my mom. I think 6 months we were sort of figuring out what to do, and that is when Tejash uncle called again. He called us again to his office, and then he asked the both of us. At that time we were respectively 21 and 23, 21, 23, and then he asked us,
So
what do you
who's
want
elder,
to do?
who's younger?
Where do you see yourself?
Who's
She's
elder, who's younger? Okay, and who's the bossy one?
I'm elder.
And bossy.
She's the bossy one.
Okay. So
She is the
so
bossy one.
So Ankita is younger and bossy. Anuja is elder, not bossy. We'll take the words for it. Yes. So mom unfortunately passed away in 2013, and then Tejash uncle called you, and then what happened? What
So
do you say?
he said that, what do you guys want to do? Where do you want to see yourself heading? Because we need to take charge and take control of things. If you want to do this business, we are well and good. If you don't want to do business, we are well and good. You just decide as to what you want to do. Until that time, for 6 months, no one really asked us, we were just sailing sort of. So that was like the first time that, we just came back, and then and he just clearly said to us at that time, don't give me an answer right now. I'm always going to be there, and there are going to be mistakes forever. But you have a small team which you've built up over the period of time with your mom. So we need to give an answer to the team also. Yeah. So you don't be intimidated right now. Just tell me what you would like to do. And then I think
and the business was about 12 years old by then. So,
at the time, yeah.
Business about 12, 13 years old. And
so
all this while, mom was operating out of home and with a small team.
So we had bought a sort of...
And so you bought a?
We had brought a sort of a kitchen where a workshop sort of a place where we work, a workspace, where we had about 8 people working with us. So 2 into packaging, 2 into production, 1 to delivery, and, 1 handling accounts and everything.
And did the Harsh chocolate name exist at that point?
Yes. So we registered this 2005.
So while say mom's name, why was it?
While mom.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you came back from meeting mama, and he had this lovely sort of talk with you, and then what happened?
And then we were like, okay, 1 week later, we were like, let's go back to 2001 and then start from one Diwali to the other, and let's, we wish to continue this. And we sort of put our education and everything into it. And he's like, are you very sure about it? And we're like, yes, so, we'll go for it. And then all of our friends came together. They put together a website. We graduated to an e-commerce website. They helped us in wrapping, packaging, delivering, post-sales, pre-sales, everything. So we sort of, build a team in our own. And professional photography started happening. All these are friends who are, sort of coming together.
How lovely. So these are the
13.
And you'd finished your education by then,
Yes. I'd finished my education. Yeah.
So you're friends of people like you who are from college or whatever, yes. and who are helping you.
Yeah, just out of college, just out of developing websites, and everyone is like, I'll do your SEO, and I'll do your website, and I'll do your photography.
So after a year after mom, then these things started building, and we were even more concrete. We want to continue this.
Yeah.
We will do this.
Yeah.
I hope you gave your friends a lot of chocolates. They sound like lovely souls.
Yes, all of them. Yes.
I'm sure your mom must have also fed them and all over the years. Your friends. So it's karma. It's karma in a way. Yes.
So touch wood. We've been very lucky that way. Yes.
Yes.
I think then 2014 is when she decided, as to going back to mom's teachings, as to, you have to get some formal education. And then I think we had a talk saying that, I want to take up Barry Callebaut. They're offering a 1-year course and a training along with it into deeper understanding of chocolate and more towards, doing it professionally now. And I think that
so that is the thing that gave me an edge. Okay, how to scale up a little. Like okay, if you want to come up with a new range, and we had a long list of the existing clients. Like how can we progress and teach the staff, and then we can just move forward from there.
Yeah.
So that happened at that time.
2014, 2015 is when we learned, and I think up till 2020 March we were working 365 days.
Yeah.
So that is something that we learned, that business needs your complete involvement, your complete time, efforts, and something that we learned from mom and Teju Mama, who I can easily say is our mentor, is that you learn, you teach your team, and then you move forward. Because don't go and do everything on your own.
So delegation in a sense.
Delegation was mom was always like, she will never do one thing. She is just she will always teach and next.
Move on. Yeah.
So that is what is into us also. Like that is what.
That's a very important lesson for, I think, founders, so to speak, because when you start a startup, then you're very hands-on, like you said. I mean, you're doing everything yourself, and as people scale, then I think I think it takes a bit of maturity and learning to be able to move back, so that then you can expand and do more stuff. So then I won't grudge you your Nainital escape, because you guys have worked hard enough for that. But I believe you're doing some work even now, right, in Nainital? You're saying?
Yeah, a little bit here and there, how much we are getting time, because there's a lockdown here also. So just a week ago, we were sort of moving out and meeting people, but I think we are in lockdown right now. So we could meet a little local chefs and work in a little cafes here. But that we
had a little brunch also, where we made chocolate pasta, outdoor brunch. So yeah, we are just enjoying the time, just taking
and learning local things here, whatever local food that we are getting. So exploration is going on.
Yes.
And I think that is what going back to 2015, 16, I'll tell you one error. I mean, we were very scared because, earlier errors were used to be handled by mom. So used to not we used to always be a part of it, but the answering part to any client, whether there's whether there's a slight change or something like that, we are not answerable. We're just, we're like the team behind, and we'll rectify it. So I think
the buck stops with you. Now the buck stops with you. Grown-up problems. So what happened? Tell me.
So what happened is there was one client where we had to give out Diwali orders. So we were working towards making 500 boxes with 20 chocolates in each. And there was, we made the complete order with the team, the packaging happened properly, and the delivery also happened properly. And then usually at such a big order, either of us make sure that we every end, just to see that all the chocolates are in proper shape, condition, reaching it properly. And we stand there and make the driver count all the boxes with their office team, so that it's, we are ensured that there is no glitch in between. Because it's an important thing, and once the Diwali distribution is lost, or once the event is lost, the entire purpose of making the chocolate and the entire money of the client is lost. So we ensure all of that at the steps, and we deliver the product. I did not go, and the driver went, and then the next day, call from the client came saying that the boxes are empty, most of them.
Wow.
I freaked out. And then I picked up the phone and I called Teja's uncle, and he's like, just calm down. You just make 100 boxes ka chocolate. We have backup. We'll not worry about it. They can start distributing 100 boxes. You need to give value to the client at this point in time, because this is very important part of branding that you'll understand. So branding is much bigger much broader in sense that you have to take care of the client's requirement at the time and not the shortcoming. So you
not the
ready for
short-term
100
problem.
boxes
Yeah.
not a short-term problem, and don't get into the argument as to where the chocolate has been eaten. The chocolate has to go to their clients at the right time should be your point of concern at this point.
Wow.
So you write an email and then you go with at least 100 chocolates for now, and then you see as pick out all the boxes, open all the boxes with your team and theirs, and then see if all the chocolates are full. If not, you fill wherever it is required, and make sure that their first 100 boxes go out at the time that they had decided. That is what I did, and that is what we learned. Delegation also comes with a lot of errors, and error will keep happening at all the places.
So you can't just sit back and and
Actually, the error
where did the chocolates go?
No, actually the error was not even all the boxes were empty. It was just 2-3 boxes, and that too something must have happened in transit or any handling. So it was just a 2-3 boxes, and it was quickly.
So how did the client react after, like, you did this, like, as also Mama's advice, and then you did this? What was the client's reaction to the way you handled it?
I think they still are clients. I think that speaks a lot about at that time.
Yeah. They were celebrating their, I guess, some anniversary. So we were again doing their Diwali orders, and then they had Christmas, and
so
they were doing that.
Yeah, so I think they still are clients. We were very nicely talking. I mean, they still are clients. That speaks a lot about Touchwood. Yeah,
Touchwood. Yes. No, but I think it's the entire idea of this Foodocracy for Her series is for learnings, and not just for women. It's any entrepreneurs, all of us. And I think that it's such a fabulous business practice that when the client had an issue, and like you said, when you dug deep, it was maybe not as big as it seemed, but you didn't think of that now. But you went out of your way to sort of make sure that the client's work was met, and that way you've made yourself a lifelong client, and probably like many orders have come from them, hopefully, and not with much bargaining and good stuff. Okay, now tell me, Mummy started Harsh Chocolate until 2013. She was running it, and then now 8 years is the two of you. So second generation. So and with every generation comes in their own thoughts, also a reflection of how the world is changing. This thing. So what are the changes, if any, that you brought into the way in which Harsh Chocolate operates? Like, how did you make it more a reflection of your own, with, of course, Mummy's spirit, at the core, but I'm sure it's a bit of a reflection of both of you, right? So what did you guys do?
So we actually, like she said, we started with, some building an e-commerce website and building up, the packaging. We already, mom also used to use the, the brown and the khaki. She didn't like plastic as much. So, we already had that paper bag and everything in place. So we didn't have to enhance the packaging on that front, but the e-commerce website and tying up with Zomato and Swiggy and the latest portals. So I'm coming up with a new menu, and
I think the first thing that we did is we cut down the entire laundry list of the menu that we were doing earlier. So whatever is a client's requirement is what we used to cater earlier. But with her understanding of better chocolate making and understanding the market, we sort
and
of
the market's also changing. Right? The customers getting exposed to more stuff, and
I think what we earlier saw was people were very
what are you guys doing? My two cats are jumping around. What are you guys doing, baby? Listen, you also start a chocolate factory. You also start a chocolate factory. Yes. Yes.
I love
Doesn't want to do any work, huh? Unlike you, the two of you. These guys are just all fun and games. Bolo.
Yeah.
So I was saying that we cut down the laundry list because earlier what we saw as a shift in the entire understanding of the market is people became more ingredient centric, especially more so after COVID struck. So 8 years ago, people became more quality centric, and 2 years ago they've become more ingredient centric as to what particular ingredients are going in the food that they're eating.
So can you give me an example of something which you've done as a result of that, or to meet that need? Maybe the Earth chocolate box or anything like that. Anything. I'm not going to preempt it for you.
So, like, we've come up with, we started with like a brownie chocolate. And then we started with, like, you know, the hot chocolate stirrings, you know, which you just melt in a cup of milk and it is an instant hot chocolate. So we started with that, and then the latest is we've come up with chocolate bread, the coffee bread. And we have also come up with, we had come up with something for the earth box, and like, which you had hollow bonbons and the earth.
Yeah, I was trying to be off sugar that week because I have to do my blood test, and I have a problem with you guys because it was so good that I ended up going to the kitchen every night and doing a Nigella, and Nigella probably does it just for the camera. I was actually eating it.
So, like,
anyway, my doctor also loves desserts, so it's fine.
So good. Win-win situation.
No, but what I want to know is that, see, you told me that there's a consumer interest in the ingredient of what is going in your food, and this is across categories, not just chocolate, but even your roti, spice, or whatever. So, how did you sort of respond to that? So, for example, I understand that you're doing chocolate loaf or stirrer and all that, but how is this a reflection of the need for ingredients or knowing the ingredients? What have you done there?
So I'll tell you what happened earlier is we used to do an assorted box with no labels on it. It used to be a box mixed with chocolates, and then we used to say that, you know, every chocolate is a surprise.
Yes.
Then 8 years later, people wanted us to label because, you know, some may be allergic to this or some may not like this or that. Then we started labeling as to which flavor is what. And then we understood that they don't only want us to label it, they also want what ingredients are going into it, you know, what content. So then we started labeling a little more further, saying that, you know, this has almonds and this has so much of calories and this has so much of, it has to be stored in a particular way, it has to be kept in this particular way, eaten in this particular way. So this sort of started happening. Earlier, people used to just pick up a box of chocolate and be happy about it. If almonds come, they'll be happy about it. If a butterscotch comes, they'll be happy about it. But now they want to know whether the butterscotch is runny or the butterscotch is into a bite.
No, but that's so true. Huh? I must, and so I've seen that in your chocolate, and for example, the ITC Fable Elements box, or very recently doing iftar. The ITC hotels, they have this thing called Nutmeg, so they had sent this thing with chocolate boxes with Indian flavors, and you know, and your box also did it so beautifully that it'll tell you what each chocolate is, what is goes into it and stuff. Because, you know, I've grown up in that Forrest Gump era where life is a box of, my mama said life is a box of chocolates and you never know what you get. But as you grew up, then and is started forming more discerning choices, so you like to know what you're. Sometimes you don't want surprises. Then, like in our house, like you know, my wife, Kainaz is the big chocolate lover, even, but she has very particular tastes in chocolates. So often when you're going through the box and you know, I might like this, she might like this, both of us like it like this. So then it's really a good thing, and I also feel that it gives a certain exclusiveness. I don't know whether in a market where there's increasing competition, then it probably might sort of build that premium sense, no? In a sense.
Also, coming to the point, earlier when we used to disclose stuff, saying, you know, what is going into the chocolate, it sort of gave an impression that, you know, the person, whoever's going to receive is going to make it. But now, with the change, there has been a change in market that the person, we are ensured that the person is never going to make it. And we give out the percentages quite clearly for them to understand their dietary needs. And
and chocolates and the sort of chocolate range. I don't know, what are these two doing? There's some major energy burning happening. Okay, so the sort of chocolates which you guys operate in, they're a fairly evolved level of chocolate. So you can't make that at home. Like it's for example, again, I mean, simply because I was talking of ITC, and I just before this had this biryani for them, pulao actually, which is BB ka murg pulao. So not my BB, but
Ah,
in ITC did this thing.
that's a,
Even if they gave me the recipe, how the hell am I going to make that BB ka murg pulao? So yeah, I think people, yeah, I mean,
But as a
but
starting,
earlier, I think that was the mindset people used to have, right?
yeah,
we
In
had
your
that
mom's time and all that,
insecurity.
people would copy recipes
yeah. I
and
think
just
20
do it at
years
a
ago,
cheaper price. So
probably.
tell me, so Anuja, from my understanding, you are more the branding person and
Hmm.
Ankita is more the chef, right? I mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
is that okay? So now,
that is correct.
Anuja, since I'm going to sort of tap on you, so I'm
Hmm.
saying that see, you've grown in an era where your mom was there,
Hmm.
and brands were faceless, and people would copy each other, bring down prices, and put it on those little cloth bags, and tie
Hmm.
it up and send it. That was one generation of chocolate making.
Hmm.
But now, how do you create brands so
Hmm.
that no one can duplicate you, or they can't be a copy? Like there's Harsh chocolates,
Hmm.
and then there might be Joyful chocolates, and I'm sure Joyful chocolates will do great stuff. But
Yes,
Joyful is Joyful, and Harsh is Harsh.
that's
So,
true.
so tell me your experience of building a brand. What has worked? We just heard from Ankita that what's working in chocolates, that people want specific preferences, people want to know what they're eating, people want to know the origin and stuff like that. Now, and you're also a bit of a doodleist, right?
Yes.
So tell us.
So what works for a brand is what you're trying to.
Yes, yeah. How to build a brand? How to build a unique brand?
So I think we really need to. What me and Ankita did at the time, 2013, is when we sat together and we decided to take off everything from the menu that was sort of a laundry list and not our strengths. That is something that we learned, and we still keep doing it time and again, saying that there may be 100 people making almond rocks, but there'll be no one making almond rocks like us. So
Yes.
let's stick to it, and then let's keep making it, and let's sort of keep that in mind, and let's make it better. And we don't want to do we don't want to enter into a area where it'll be we are like a do it all. We'll not be do it all. There'll be 100 chocolatiers, and we'll all coexist with a lot of not competition, what do you say,
Yeah,
um,
ecosystem, like
yeah, like
peaceful peaceful coexistence. Yes.
yeah, so I think in your basket, if you want to gift it to someone, there'll be Harsh chocolate specialty, which will be almond rocks, which will come in from us, and there'll be some Mr. X's chocolate, which will be their specialty, which will come in from us, and your receiver will still be happy to get the best of the chocolates of the town. And I think only that is how a brand can coexist, just playing by their strengths.
I think that's very, very wise words which you said, which is identify what your strengths are and then
Yeah.
focus on that rather than trying to be everything. In fact, I think some of the top companies also did that. Like there were companies which were playing in every area, so they're making tires, they're doing oil, they're doing this.
Hmm.
Then they start sort of focusing. And I think that becomes that much more important for individual entrepreneurs or home chefs or family run
Yeah.
brands, I think that's now how do you sort of you're both different people, you both bring in different skills, so how do you sort of allot your responsibilities and ensure that that a company makes full use of your talents and without each of you colliding into each other? And sisters also fight, right? I mean, jhagda to hota hi hai. So how do you run a successful business when they're partners?
I think fortunately we talk a lot. So amongst the both of us, so we keep talking a lot about
Communication.
communication is very very clear as to what we want. So like in the lockdown, I think in the first 2 weeks, just when March 22nd 23rd happened, the first 2 weeks, because we didn't we were working 365 days, 5 years, 6 years in a row. We are like, this 2 3 weeks is a government called vacation. We are not going to we're not going to think about anything, and
No,
we're not
the,
going to
the
feel
prime minister sanctioned your leave. The Prime Minister sanctioned your leave.
Yeah. So we're not going to feel bad about taking an off, and we are going to enjoy this time and not talk about work for a long time. And there was still a lot of perishable stock which was on our head, 30-40 kgs of almonds maybe, whatever. So there was a lot of stock which was there, but we're like, we're not going to talk about it, and we're just going to say it after 3 weeks whenever we are ready. And then when April end,
you say it, you don't speak for 3 weeks, but the very next day it's like, karna kya iska? Acha, karna kya iska? It keeps
There's so
coming
many
into
times
your
I've told myself, I'm going to take Sunday break, no social media. Then morning, today for breakfast, I had, a leftover roti made into an egg roll. Yes. No, I
so
know.
back of the mind, that thing is constantly going on. Karna kya hai? We are not thinking of it, but what do you have to do?
But then 2 weeks later, then we sat down and then we're like, what, I think this is a year, a thing which will go in for a year.
Yeah.
And this is something which is not normal. And the kitchen, the place that we had thought of, we just, luckily we did not invest in a lot of equipments. For March, we just kept it on hold. Of saying that we'll buy everything in April, and we just paid the lease. So that was a hit that we took, but not the equipments. And so we're like, the first thing that we'll do is we'll let go of the place, we'll bring the kitchen home, we'll convert the entire room into a kitchen, and then what next? So then we sat down, we kept coming back to the dinner table discussions and post dinner table discussions, and then if we are talking more than an hour on the topic, we come back to it on the next day. We are done for the day. We keep a timer when we talk.
Yeah, so it's good for like even Instagram. I'm going to keep this in an hour. More than that doesn't happen. So,
so when we are when we're talking, even when we're having a coffee, we just keep a 45 minutes timer that we're going to talk on this topic, and we don't talk about it for the entire day. So we're going to come back to it tomorrow.
Like if it is making sometimes some things, it makes sense now, but if you think after 2 days, let's not do that.
Yeah.
So it's better to just wrap that topic in that particular time and talk about it tomorrow. If it is making sense, go for it.
Yeah. So then I think the idea of dessert table, which was long due germinated, saying that, we'll do dessert tables. So a couple of top restaurants in Bombay, we've been doing them, outsourcing them, chocolate based desserts.
So would you like to share?
We cannot.
Okay, fair. So you're doing the back end for them. Okay.
Yeah. So we're doing chocolate based dessert, and then we were like, we could, because she has the ability to do a lot of other desserts. We're like, do we want to, get into that area for now? And then back of the mind, we were still into 2 minds that, we still want to stick to chocolate and chocolate based dessert. And that is when small parties and gatherings started happening. Yes. And then we sort of started catering to chocolate based dessert for the parties. So the dessert table will have just the chocolate spread, and, chocolate based catering happens. So I think a lot of communication sort of helps, even if you are related. Formal communication needs to happen in a particular way. There are sometimes we chat on email or CC each other in email also.
When you're in the same room?
No, when we are apart, but then a lot of formal communication happens because she is heading the production team, and I need to know as to costs and everything. So there are sheets where we exchange as to.
We write it down because we don't want to come back to that point again saying कि अच्छा नहीं ये बात हुई थी नहीं ये बात हुई थी. It's better to have it written somewhere. So you don't.
No, I think that's an important thing, especially like people who are running family run. Lof, you agree? Lof, you agree with them? That's maybe Lof. He agrees. Yes. I think he's going to do something with little Nimki. He and Nimki will open a company. Wait, everyone's wondering, what am I talking about? Can I say, there.
Hey, let me take a screenshot of this.
But he's not.
You can't. you can't. Wait, you're on my chair. He's on my chair. You want to do the podcast now? Nimki? You do the podcast. I have been seated. I have been unseated, not deseated. Okay, come here. Okay, so now you were talking about the lockdown. So lockdown, the things. No, sorry. I wanted to stress this point that this is also important. That even if you're family run or you're doing something by yourself, it's important to have an element of formality, especially when you're running a business, so that the structure is there, because the business is not like child's play. Okay, now I want to ask you, during lockdown, things kept changing. First, you thought that the Prime Minister has given you 2 weeks ka chutti, then you realize that it's not. So then you told me about these, dessert tables which you're doing. But again, we are back in lockdown. So again, there are no gatherings happening. And guys, don't gather, huh? And if you gather, wear masks. In this case, you can't have the dessert. So, just call for the
At
chocolate
least
home.
based, yeah, at
Yes,
least
yes. So,
vaccinations
so,
are.
how are you reacting to the changing situation? Or
So I think, yeah, we play by our strengths. Delivery is always been our strength.
We were also in the very starting of the lockdown when Kurush sir, the Kurush Dalal,
Purush Dalal, yes.
yeah, like when he started taking live, actually I was very we had a lot of inquiries, will you be can you teach us chocolates, do you take workshops, do you take
Hmm.
classes? So we said no, because it is very, I was not convinced with the concept of okay, how can I teach it online, because the snap of the chocolate, the aroma, the process, what you see it like in real, you cannot teach it online.
Yes.
So I was very not very comfortable on that part. But after listening to Purush sir,
Hey,
he's so strict.
He's met Purush sir. They both met Purush
Yes.
sir. Go ahead.
Stop when you hear Purush sir.
Go ahead.
So yeah, so when I started attending his A to Z, the first series, when he used to go live on Insta. So after attending that, and then he started taking online lectures on explaining the food and the diaspora and everything. So it is like, okay, let's give it a try. So whatever we can, you can participate from across the globe.
yeah.
But if you, so what we did was, if, or for an example, if you are you've signed up for that class, so we will after the entire class sums up, we will send you that particular batch of chocolate to your place. Okay, this is what we made today.
Yeah.
Like that
Across
is something,
India. So I could be joining from
in Bombay.
Yeah.
only Bombay.
So we had,
So if I'm joining from Borivali, it's okay, but Bangalore, sorry, then no chocolates.
No, so you can join from Bangalore, but if you have some loved one in Bombay, we make sure that we give them the box of chocolate that you.
So people joining from Bangalore or Barcelona, you can send you can consider me to be your loved one and send the chocolates to me.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people joining in from across the globe, but it was a like nice surprise to someone,
Yes.
So that is what I was saying. We can do this to make sure what you learn today.
And I love the way the ecosystem is learning from each other. Like, for example, you saw what Kurush was doing. And in a way also, like, I started my lives when I was seeing what people like Kurush or Samir of FBI were doing, and then started Foodocracy for first on Instagram Live and then Zoom. So I like the way that our community is sort of learning from each other. I mean, I look at the way you guys sort of brand yourself and all, and I'm sure subliminally things register. Yes.
Yes.
So that is how we started with Cocoa Home Lab, the CHL. And we started taking online classes. So we did 2, 3, and then we got inquiries whether it's, it's my kid's birthday party. Will you host the entire event for us? So we did that also. Nice. So it was an online class.
And sometimes people can do online. Like I remember recently it was my niece's birthday and we joined in Zoom and all our friends joined from every other 5, 6-year-olds. But imagine now if you guys did an online sort of chocolate making thing where the kids are bored because the birthday party would normally be 2 hours with games. Here everyone looked at each other for 5 minutes, then they jumped up and down to some music and giggled and then over. But this year, Loaf, we can have nice parties, no? Loaf, should we do chocolate making? When it was Loaf's party, birthday, we called for Bengali food and that's it. Next time we'll do chocolate making course. We'll do chocolate making course. Okay, listen, I don't have much time simply because, 1 hour, the Harsh chocolate 1 hour limit. So quickly before you tell me where we can or tell people where you can buy your stuff from, since both of you have gone through like a year plus of the lockdown and the pandemic and stuff like that, your learnings from this period, because it hasn't stopped you. I mean, you face obstacles and then you moved ahead. So tell me, what are your learnings or mindset with which you approached it? Or you didn't think much. You just did it. You didn't think much.
I think yes, I think it's also always been our mantra to keep just errors. This was something very, very uncalled for, like a lockdown sort of a situation. But I think just putting all your mind and heart together, and then thinking of ways and means, and sort of involving yourself as to coming up with alternatives, not only will boom your business, but you also sort of think in ROI terms, as to say, for example, if SEO is giving returns now, do not invest into packaging, because that is not the point of concern. So from a business perspective, you go in, what is the first thing that is going to come, that's going to give you maximum returns on investments for at least 2 years for now. That is my business perspective on it.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Ankita. Yeah.
My first thing was like, if I am stuck at any particular recipe, or if I'm stuck at any particular query, my only mantra is to keep doing it 100 times till I reach 100 times. I will find the answer midway. Wow. So whatever you do, it is like the entire, you do it 100 times. Kahin na kuch you will understand. You can do it this way. So there is no other way. There is no shortcut. You just do it, and you will find your answers in between.
So I think lockdown gave that opportunity to practice 100 times.
Yeah. Yes, it's fabulous. It's I think what you've achieved, your mindset, it's fabulous, and I'm sure a lot of it is the training and blessing of your mom, Harshaji, and of course the mentoring of your uncle. But at the end of it, it's all you. So before I sign off, please tell people where they can find your products, how can they order, and stuff like that.
So everyone, you can order the sweet stuff from harshchocolates.com. We are building our Instagram page. I think I had attended one of your branding sessions also. Sort of helped us a lot. And harshchocolates.com is the page, and currently we are only operating out of Bombay. So anyone that you love or you are in Bombay can order from us. Pan India is the next big thing, but I think that will take a year for us to branch out.
Yeah,
that's fine, because I think that there are a lot of people from all over ordering for their folks in Bombay. So I think, Ankita, were you adding something to that?
No, I was just thinking Pan India delivery is like first, little, we have that thing that delivery barabar se pahuncha nahi, just to cater everything. So like
baby
Pan
steps.
India is like a little later.
Yeah, it's okay. Like we Mumbaikas are happy to sort of keep everything with us rather than sharing it. Yes. And you said you're also on Swiggy and Zomato, or were you earlier on Swiggy and Zomato?
Yeah, we are on Swiggy, Zomato. We are on all online portals. We are on everywhere.
So which means that if one wants, one can look up that day and see what's available and order, or is it only in advance?
That is on Zomato. That is on Zomato. But otherwise, we'll only make to order. So you just a sort of a day's notice is good for us. But then our team is doing a fabulous job since 30 days since we are here. So I think same day orders also work. We are confident in them now.
Awesome. So thank you, Ankita. Thank you, Anuja, and then you guys know it by now. But Ankita is in stripes. Anuja is in not stripes. Ankita is the chef. Anuja is the business person. Ankita is the younger and the bossier one.
Yes.
Yeah, and Anuja is not the bossy one, but they're fabulous. And Harsh Chocolates is their company, and they've done some wonderful stuff. And you should definitely look it up. And do share this video, because these stories need to be heard. And also like it and subscribe to the
channel. Share and also look up all the other videos. It's quite inspiring. I have been following this Foodocracy for her.
I've seen many videos.
Yes.
Each of these stories are absolutely inspirational.
Yes.
There's something to learn from everyone.
Come to know so closely the brand and the person. It is really nice.
Doing a fab job. Can I click a screenshot of the screen?
Okay, wait. Let me. Yes. The cats are not there. They're out there.
We can have them in. 1, 2, 3.